Hi everybody, good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock and guess what? I'm on time. I am on time. It's dead on 1 o'clock on my computer screen in front of me, and I'm pretty chuffed with myself. I want to say, as soon as you click on the video and you start to hear me talking, Facebook normally give you a little something that you can turn on so you don't miss another live video of mine. Now you know mine are every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, but it just gives you an extra prompt because Facebook does funny things, and sometimes it tells people I'm live after I'm live. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. Now obviously I'm on Facebook Live at the moment, and what I normally do is pop this onto YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, I am not currently live, but it is being recorded live at the moment. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to share this into one of my customer VIP groups, just to tell everybody I'm live. And then the next thing I need to do is make sure that it is working and that I can see the comments, because that is really important. That's the beauty of Facebook. I can see the comments and who's watching. Okay, so as I said, it's 1 o'clock, or 1 minute past 1 now, and I'm here every Wednesday on Facebook, and I show you what I've been up to. I tell you the news of Stampin' Up. I always assume that you know who I am, which sounds a bit wrong really, but I'm going to introduce myself as if you've never known, you don't know who I am. So my name is Sarah Berry, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for 8 years this year, and it's the best thing in the whole entire world. A Stampin' Up demonstrator is basically a paper crafts demonstrator, and I would like to think that I'm an expert in everything Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up is this catalogue. It's an American company, and we have demonstrators in the UK and also in Europe, in Germany, France, Austria and the Netherlands. And it's all about these products. It's mostly a stamp company, a rubber stamp company, but also we have what's called suites. So that would be coordinating products that go alongside these stamp sets, such as this embossing folder here goes with this stamp set, as does the 12 by 12 paper, washi tape, card stock and ribbons. So all the way through the catalogue you'll find these suites. Here's another one. So Stampin' Up do the hard work for you and put it all together, and you can just take your pick what suite that you like. And then in the back we have all the information about all the accessories. That would be cardstock through to Project Life, ribbons, card, ink, refills for your ink pads, ribbon, did I say ribbon? Papers, the whole lot. So if you haven't got these catalogues, please ask me for a catalogue. This one is the annual book. Hi Lynn, I can see your little face there. How are you? So if you haven't got this catalogue, then please ask me for one. If you're watching on YouTube now and you haven't got a catalogue, then you can request your catalogue in the top, in the text at the top of the video, above this video. If you're on YouTube, it will be underneath the video. So when you request your catalogue, I will send you one of these, the annual catalogue, and then I'll also send you the spring summer. This spring summer is like a supplement that we have twice a year. So it's either the spring summer or the autumn winter, and it's full of items for this time of year. And then lastly, we have a promotion on at the moment which is called Celebration, and Celebration is a promotion that goes from the 4th to the 4th of January, to the 31st of March. Hi Ellie, nice to see you here. How are you? So yes, it goes from the 4th of January to the 31st of March. Now, just yesterday we had some more Celebration items released. So originally we started with 12. We've now got a further 3 items from this small leaflet here that we can choose from. Now what Celebration means is you get 1 free item from these brochures, these 2 here in front of me, for each £45 or €60 if you're in Europe, that you spend. So you can choose from stamp sets. That's a stamp set, that's a photopolymer stamp set, Avant Garden. We have pattern paper that you can choose from. That's all 12 by 12. A couple more stamp sets. Some more paper and ribbon. A Tasty Truck stamp set. The Any Occasion stamp set. The card tin. The Hey Chick stamp set. And then one's a card kit and one's another stamp set which goes with the designer t-shirts. So one of those items from this catalogue can be yours with a £45 spend, as can these new ones. Now I'm here to talk to you today about these new ones, and I have a couple of them here in front of me. Now these are brand new, just out yesterday. So the first one we've got in the catalogue is called Reverse Words. Now these are stamps with, you can have wooden stamps with wooden blocks, or you can have them without the wooden block, like this in red rubber, but it will cling to your clear block. So this is the reverse word, so it's like the opposite of what we would normally expect to find. So all of this is doesn't have, it's all sort of flat, and it's all, I can't think of what it's called, etched. It's all etched. So you don't stamp the word, you're stamping the watercolour background there, and it's really effective, and it's got a texture, so it's a bit uneven and it looks like you've actually done it yourself, which I love to do. I love to do the stamps and not actually have to create the watercolour, the mess there. It's all done for us. And then the next one, which I don't have because I actually gave it away the other day at my class on Monday night. Somebody chose it as their free item for their order that they were giving me. But I can promise you it's the best glimmer paper. If you're familiar with our glimmer paper that we have, this is just exactly the same, but we have it in sweet sugar plum, mint macaron and Bermuda Bay. And it is so shiny, and you just want to eat it, to be honest. If you could eat it, I would eat it, but you're not allowed to eat it. But it's a 6x6 pack, and you get 12 sheets of it. I hope we continue these colours on to when we get the new annual catalogue in June, but who knows what we'll get. But I hope they do stick around. So if you like your glimmer paper, that is definitely one to go for if you're ordering. They show it here on the cards as die cut, so you can die cut it. Now I won't be sending these leaflets out to anybody But if you have ordered with me, you will be getting one of these in with your thank you card and your code club gift. But if you do want one, please ask me for one, and I will of course send you them out. But I'm not sending them out as a mass mailing as I normally do. There is an online copy, there is an online PDF version which you can find on my website, which is stampwithsarah.co.uk for those of you that don't know. Okay, so that's the second one, and then turn over. The last one of the three that were out yesterday is called Make a Medallion. Now this is my favourite one out of all of them, and here it is. This is right up my street, as they say. It is just so fun. I love to put together several stamps to make one image. I've always loved doing that, and when I saw this I thought I would really enjoy doing that with this one. Now it's a little bit complicated. Well, I found it a little bit complicated just when I first stamped it to work out what fitted where and what orientation I needed to have them. So I'm here this afternoon to show you how I made one of my cards that were on my blog last night. Now this is my first card that I've made with the Make a Medallion stamp set, and I've had a lot of lovely feedback from it. Thank you everybody. It didn't take very long at all. It's really quite simple, and I'm going to show you how you make it. So I'll just move everything out of the way and I'll get on with that. Now if you have any questions, please let me know if you're watching Facebook Live now. But if you're on the YouTube channel, please just drop me a comment in the bottom of the video, and I'll get a notification about that, and I can reply to that as soon as I can. Okay, so I've got some thick Whisper White cardstock. Now we do two Whisper White cardstocks. We have a thin and a thick. Now the thick one I use for the base cards. I just cut and score my own card bases, and this is a standard C6, a C6, which is A5 size, which is half of A4. This is A5 scored in half, which gives you this size, which is 10.5 by 14.8 centimeters. And then I've got a couple of layers. I've not got any glue. I'll have to reach around behind me and get it. I've got a couple of layers. Now again, I've just used the thick Whisper White card because I was cutting the card anyway. It's what I had, but there's no reason why you can't use the thin Whisper White if you wanted to save your thick Whisper White for the card bases. Now these two just layer on top of each other like that, and I'll see if I can get the camera to pick up the layers a bit better on my original card. I think you can just see that. There we go. Oops. There, so you've got you've got the two layers. Now the top layer is the one I've stamped thanks on. I'm going to change it today. I'm going to use another one that's in the book, not in the book, in the stamp set, and it says friend. I'm going to use that one. I've got all my stamps on my blocks ready to go, so I don't need to keep peeling them off. And that's all you need. So I've got, what number is this one? This is a, sorry, letter. This is a D, another D block. This is a G, another G, an A, and this is a C. So those are the blocks that I've used. If you're interested in knowing the sizes, just going to swap the thanks out and put friend on. Now I always with photopolymer stamps, because you can put like a bend in them, and it's easy to make them into a bend, but for this card I want it straight, so I just leave it on the pattern paper, or on the, nothing with too much of a stick. If you do it on like a shiny table, it won't really want to peel off the table, but pop it down onto the paper, and I use my grid paper, which is, you can buy this by the way, it's not a demonstrator only tool. You might have missed it in the catalogue if you've not seen it. It's £10 for 100 sheets, and it gives you a nice base to stamp on, and it will last you forever. And it also has inches on the other side. So, and I also find that when I use it, I give myself this space, because if I don't have it, my space gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then a little bit smaller, and then I'm crafting in about that much room. So it's like a barrier, effectively, to help myself keep tidy and give myself a bit of space to actually do my stamping. So I've put that onto my block. I might do that again. I don't think I was quite straight. I have to be straight. Okay, so in the background I'm using crushed curry. I didn't do any measurements for this, I just started to stamp. I just did it by eye. I use my grid paper so often, it's so handy, so I just line it up so I have got that paper straight. Just test it. And then I started in the middle. And then I went by the bottom of my block here to line up with the top of the last message that I've used, just to give me a bit of space. And then I just kept going, trying to keep it straight and level. This bit will be underneath the medallion. A slight wobble in it will be fine. Okay, and then I did the same going back down. Last couple. Okay, I can't see any messages by the way. If you are trying to send me a message, I can't see any. Can't see anybody saying anything, so I'm not ignoring you. Right, so that's the background. I've not done it as neat as the other one because I was actually stood over the top looking down on it, so I'm a little bit off sitting away because I don't want to get my head underneath the camera. And then the next thing you do is glue these together. I like to, once I've done them, glue them together and get them on the card, so then they're out of the way. I don't spill ink on them or cut a cup of tea or anything, so I glue them together as soon as they've finished, and I work from the bottom of the card up rather than the top down, really, if that makes sense. Just try and reach my glue, so I'm attached to the computer. Okay, so I like to use the fast fuse because it's nice and strong. And just go around all the four sides, and then I do a little bit in the middle. Like that. And then the same again. And then that can go straight onto my base card. And then I'll put that out of the way. Now I want to do my scallop circle here. Now this is from the Layering Circles framelits. This is just 2 out of the collection, and you normally get 8 of each shape, so you get 8 scallops and 8 of the smooth plain edge circles, and they are designed to link together. Now I think I have a picture I can show you. Yes, I'm going to show you a picture so it's a bit clearer. Here we go. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the Layering Circles framelit dies collection, and you can see you've got 8 plain and 8 scallop in various sizes, and they all nest together. They can all nest together like that, or you can actually get them even closer together, like I have on my card here. Okay, so I want to cut my scallop out of a cardstock that we've got that's called Dapper Denim. I've got my big shot off to the side, so I'll just turn and cut it. I have got my magnetic platform on today. I don't necessarily need it for the Dapper Denim cardstock, but I do need my magnetic platform for when I cut the circle or the medallion out, just so that circle doesn't move or slip. So there's my scallop circle. It's a nice little scallop. It's quite a small scallop, and it's quite close together. But yeah, I love them. I never stop using them. And then the next piece I need to do is my circle. I'm just going to reach some of the scrap card because I've forgotten to give myself some. There we go. I can't see any messages today, everybody. Are you all very quiet, or is it just not working for me? It's hard to say. Oh, you are talking to me. Sorry. Hi Pam, I can see your messages now. I've just refreshed so I can see. Hi Lynn. Hi Maria. Hi Pam. Okay, I'll get on with it then. So the first one I want to do is with, which one was it? It doesn't really matter. I like to do the darker colour first, which is Dapper Denim. You're all busy watching. Oh, thank you. I must be sending you to sleep. So I've got Dapper Denim, and this is the one that has the inside. So these 2 pieces, well, it's one whole stamp, but these are already inside that star shape. So unfortunately you can't separate that, but it's there for a reason, and you'll see in a little while why it's there. Okay, so I'll just get some more ink. So this one, because it is the middle section, I want to do it up and down. Well, not up and down, like straight. You'll know what I mean in a minute. So that's the Dapper. Oh, that's the Dapper Denim. Nice and dark, and as I said, that matches the cardstock. The next one is this one. Now this puts a layer inside and also in between all of these star points, and now that means I need to have it slightly offset to fit in between every section. Now I've got Bermuda Bay. Now I've gone quiet because I have to concentrate. So there, that's offset, and you can, there's lots of different areas to look for. You can see that this little bit there, that little 3, actually fits in there inside the star, and that's the other side of the star, and then there's the middle that fits in between these little little blobby bits, so that you've got a lot to look for. And just don't just focus on the one section though. Check down the bottom and check at the top, and in the middle make sure everything's lined up, which is when you put your stamp on your block, what would be a lot easier is if you lined your stamp up like sort of straight, so you don't have a block that looks like mine at the moment, because mine's a bit wonky. So if you had it in the position before you started, you wouldn't have to guess quite as much as I've just done there. Thank you, Lynn. There we go. So, oh, isn't it lovely? A bit far away. Just see if I can zoom in a bit actually. See if I can zoom in while I'm doing it. I don't know if I can. Hey, there we go. I can. That might go a little bit blurry, but we'll see how you do. I think that might be a bit better. Alright, so that's the second piece. So you've kind of done 1, 2, 3, 4 rows or sections in just 2 stamps. If you wanted to, you could do every single layer a different colour, but I would recommend that you use your pens for that, your marker pens, and you can add colour to this here. You could add colour to that ring, that circle, and then you could add colour to all of these bits. But you'd need to be fairly quick at colouring it with your marker pens, and also huff on it when you're finished. But there's no reason why you can't take your pens and colour every section, and even more colours than we've got on here. So then the next piece isn't a circle, it's like a half piece. It almost looks like a corner. This is a little bit blurry now, which is this one. And this is actually half of it, so you'll stamp one like this, and then rotate your block 180 degrees and stamp it again underneath. So for that I've got crushed curry, and this fits in the top section of where that blue flourish is here. It's so fun. Like that, and then you will turn it round. Oops, I've moved my paper. And do that. So you're left with like this white strip in the middle, which is fine. You can leave it there, because I found that the messages will stamp into the right width. So if you want to leave a white gap and say do a blue ink, that would look really lovely in the middle of there. But I will carry on, I'll do the full medallion as it's meant to be. Next up we've got this little piece, which is basically one of these. Oh, I'm not under the camera, sorry. This little piece, and then while I'll show you, this is the very centre of the medallion. So I'm doing this one and this one. So again, I'm doing it in the crushed curry. And if you look closely, actually it will link together, so this swirl will link round onto this stamp. And then do it again, turn your block and get it into place. And now we've just got that tiny little space, that tiny little gap in the middle, and I'm going to do that again in Dapper Denim. Oh, blimey, sorry everybody, I've knocked you forward. There we go. I did that last week, you landed on top of me. Okay, Dapper Denim. Now I use the Dapper Denim because I feel that this Dapper Denim flourish wants to connect with this bottom piece. Doesn't really matter on my card because I have gone and covered it up with a enamel dot. But if you're going to leave it like that, that is the middle piece, and I think personally that completes the medallion really nicely. So that's how you put the medallion together, because at first glance it's like, well, it is a bit confusing. I was like, well, what does this bit do? So I hope that does help you for when you get yours. What have I got to do next? So the next bit is cutting out the medallion. Now that will be with I've used the plain circle, and if you notice in the little leaflet, this is the same throughout the catalogue. So they always tell you at the bottom, you see there's a little grey circle, and that refers to why this piece is greyed out and then a little bit of a shadow. So that is telling me that it coordinates with the layering circles framelit, which is this one. It doesn't tell you which framelit in the set, but we're alright with that. We can work that one out ourselves, can't we? And that would be that one. Alright. Now obviously that is not limited to just that circle. I'm sure there's lots of other things that we have, that we sell, that would just cut them out on their own. But we can't possibly list everything, but that is the main one that, you know, it even goes over that one as well. So you don't just look at it and think, oh, you're just limited to that single framelit. There are lots of other products that we sell that do coordinate. You could, of course, you can cut this out by hand if you would like to. There's no reason why you can't do that. You could even do lots of different layers and build them up. You know, like we used to have some medallion stamps in the past that I've known about, and you stamp them several times and you can layer them up. So yeah, I'd love to see somebody hand cut them all out and layer them up. So I'm just going to die cut this now, so if I go a little bit quiet, it's because I'm over here doing this. And this is where the magnetic platform really does help, because I don't want that circle to shift after I've done all that stamping. If you wanted to, you could cut your circle and stamp onto it the other way round, but you'd need to make sure your first stamp was in the correct position. Thanks, Maria. Thank you. So this is the first two. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit now because I feel that it's a tiny bit blurry, and the camera would just try and adjust. Okay. Now I'm going to stick that down straight away. So again, I'm going to use my fast fuse. And I've actually paid attention to where the scallops are. So I've got a scallop down here and a scallop at the top, and I'm making sure that my star point points to one of those all the way around. It's just a little something that you can do. Doesn't really matter. I'm just a little bit fussy. So that's on there, and then on the back of it we put some foam pads. And I would say 4 is plenty. You can obviously add as many or as little as you'd like. Whoops. That goes about there. I love this. I can't wait to do lots of other colours. Is that a good tip? What's a good tip? I don't know what I've said. What did I say? Lastly, to finish off, I've added a little butterfly on my original one. You can just leave that card as it is really, but I like that I've added a little butterfly. And the butterfly is, what's it made of? It's a vellum. It's not going to focus. Oh yes, it did a little bit then. It's a vellum cardstock, so it means it's a thicker vellum, which means it's good for putting through your big shots. The butterfly I've used is from a framelit set called Bold Butterfly, or Bold Butterflies, and in the set you get these two. You get this nice outline, and then you get this one, this more detailed butterfly, and you can put them together, you can layer them up, but they are designed to go with a couple of stamp sets that we have at the moment. And one of them, what's it called? Watercolour? I can't remember. Watercolour Wings is one of them. Okay, so I'm going to cut out I take a little piece of my vellum. Where's my scissors? I always cut it down to the size I need rather than waste everything. Thank you, Pam. Lining up the scallop to the point. Oh, thanks. Thank you, thank you. So I always put my framelit on there, on the thing I'm cutting, and I cut round it. You know, just to save a bit of, especially the special pretty papers. I'm going to cut this out. Has anybody got any questions while I'm here, while I'm doing this? I think I'll be able to manage it. Anyone got any queries about celebration or the starter kit? Anything at all? Right. So I'm going to have to just spend a little bit of time poking this out because, well, maybe. Oh no, it's not. I thought it might have gone back in the drawer, but it's not. I have a Big Shot dye brush, which I had at class the other night. I'm not sure. Oh, it might be there. Hang on. That will be so much easier. How should we store the ink pads? Do they have to be flat? Yes. I would recommend that you store them flat. Yes, they are designed to be flat, but I do know people that store them upright, and they're fine. But it really depends on how old your stamp ink pads are, I guess, Lynn, and how much ink you've used. The quantity of ink, sometimes there's a little bit, not too much, but it can be a little bit juicy, so I wouldn't want them to stand up and then run out all onto your desk or your box or wherever it is that you're storing it. But yes, do keep them flat where possible, because they're obviously they're designed to go flat. So I know I'm holding it up now so I can show you at the camera, but we have the stickers at the side that you put on yourself, and so when they are flat, when you buy them in a box of 10, you obviously get the storage box. So I would recommend that you do keep the storage boxes and then just take the lid off, cut the flap off of the lid, and then you can just keep your ink pads in the box. But for those of you that haven't turned your ink pads upside down, we have the stickers at the bottom, and there's 4 different ones. One's English, one's French, German and Spanish, I think it is. So take one of those off. The top ones, these are all, oh no, this one's not been done yet. Here we go. Dapper Denim. So I'd peel that one off. Like that. And then stick it to the side. And then what I do is I take another one, oh what a shame, oh what a shame, Lynn, I should have said that before. I take another one, so I think this is the French one, Denim Dandy for Dapper Denim, and I cut either side of the words. And then I've got 2 blue pieces, and get rid of that one. So now I've got 2 blue colours of Dapper Denim in a sticker. So open your ink pad, lock it shut, and then you need to put these little pieces in where I call it like the finger groove, where you put your 2 fingers, your little bunny ears, when you're unlocking when you're closing your ink pad, sorry. So don't bin the stickers, use them to label the colour. You can also get a 3rd piece of sticker from here and put it on that bit there if you wanted to. So you can see it from either side when they're open, there and there and in there, because once they are open there's not a lot of difference really. You wouldn't really tell what colour they are. That's not too bad because I can see a little bit around the edge, but for those of us that don't know the colours off by heart, that's really good to do for your ink pads. So everybody check under their ink pads and don't bin all those stickers. Keep them. So yes, Lynn, keep them flat and do that with them. Ellie, do the butterfly framelets coordinate with the other framelets? Yes, they do. Yes. We have these ones. Let me show you. We have this set, bold butterfly, or bold butterflies, and then this one is, I can't remember. I'll tell you the name. It's called just butterfly thinlets. So this is bold butterfly, these 2, and these 3 are butterfly thinlets. Now these 2 are exactly the same size, and these 2 are exactly the same size. So this is the outer for these inners, say, but you don't have to use them together to get the butterfly. They are just the same shape. And then in this pack you get the added addition of the really big butterfly. Alright, does that answer your question, Ellie? So I've got my my die brush. I found it, and because it's vellum, it's a little bit more tricky to get out of the die, but it will come out. And you just want to run that over the frame, and that should sort of ease it and tease it out of the framelet. a lot easier than poking through the holes with like a pokey tool, like anything with a sharp point. Like these are little sharp points, but they are soft, so I can run it up and down my hand and it won't hurt. So you know, if it doesn't do that to your skin, it's not going to pierce little tiny holes in your card. So if you don't have one of the die brushes, it saves you a lot of time to get all these little pieces out. Mine's not quite cut correctly for me this afternoon, unfortunately, but they are done. Well, I'm not going to wrestle with it because you all know what it looks like. But to finish off, I added a heart in the middle of the butterfly. Underneath is a glue dot, I should say. We sell glue dots on a roll in a little box, and then on top of that, to hide that glue dot underneath the vellum, I put a little heart from the enamel dots pack of colours, in colour 2016-2018 in colour pack that we sell. So there you go, that's how I made my card. I've not put the butterfly on because it didn't quite go quite right, but I think I'll just put a dot on top, I think. Could even put a nice shiny gem on, and or little tiny pearls around the outside. So I hope you've enjoyed that this afternoon. Thanks for coming. As I said before, if you want a copy of the new celebration items, I can either give you the link so you can see them online, or I can send you a leaflet of them. If you like to collect your leaflets, there's no reason why I can't send you one. Thank you. That's so nice to hear. So if you have any questions for me next time, I'm here next Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and so I like to talk for about 45 minutes to an hour. That's as much as I can manage before I have to go and pick everybody up from school. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your support and you popping in to see me. So if you've been watching the replay, I guess, thanks for watching the replay. This will be available for all of time on Facebook, and of course I'll put it on my blog and on YouTube. So that's it from me. Really thank you for coming, and I will see you next week, or if not, it will be before that, I hope. So have a good day, everybody. Thank you. Bye.